I 25 meters caught my long-term GF 25F having an affair with one of my friends. What do? I'm at a loss for words. Story 1. I've been living with my GF for over 2 years now, and we've dated for about 6 years since we met in college. We've both been out of college for roughly 2 years now, and one of my friends who moved out of the country announced he was coming back to our country for a visit, and I offered for him to stay. GF has never met friend, will refer to him as Larry. However, Larry and I had Skypes and GF was often around and got to know Larry through me. Anyways, we were all excited. Fast forward, Larry arrives, everything is well, but about 2-3 weeks into his stay I became increasingly uncomfortable with the way Larry and my GF would act together. I vented my feelings to my GF, who assured me nothing was going on, and I didn't say anything to Larry. Eventually Larry's little nuances got to me. We'd have little feuds over nothing, and I asked Larry to move out and find somewhere else to stay. Cue some bitterness between Larry and I. Now, Larry left last weekend. He's gone. A few days back I noticed my GF's Facebook had some messages from Larry. When I asked my GF about it, she quickly closed the window and told me it's nothing, just Larry trying to get an idea as to why I was bitter at him. In my mind I felt he was exceeding his boundaries as my friend, so I decided to cut him out. GF would scold me and call me a miserable person. We even had a little fight about it when I told my GF I didn't want Larry to stay over the night before his flight. GF eventually apologized, but I was still disappointed that she didn't have my back or understand my feelings. Anyways, I should go back to the FB messages. Today I was just shutting down our PCs after the GF had gone to bed, and my curiosity got the worst of me. I know this is bad, and opened up her FB. She was already logged in, and I noticed a message from Larry that was unread. I opened it and went through their conversation history, and this is where I wanted to throw up. Basically, they met up at least once behind my back when I was on a business trip, and wanted to coordinate another visit, but my GF didn't feel it would work out. Larry replies back that he needs to hold her again and misses her very much, calling her things like sweetie. I was livid. Words cannot describe how I felt reading that out. The combination of anger, despair, sadness, betrayal, and pure rage was too much for me to take. GF had also sent her a photo of a campfire from this weekend when we were together that she took and sent to Larry saying, "I miss you." God damn it. I confronted the GF. Had to wake her up at 1 a.m. and ask her. At first she was sleepy and didn't need it all, but when I told her I'd read her convo history and that I was sorry for violating her privacy but had to know why she was keeping this from me, things became clear in her mind that I was very hurt by all of this. I explained my feelings. I was hurt, betrayed. I housed this guy and showed him a good time for a month, and even after all of this you told me I was the crazy one. Now my worst suspicions are true. My friend Larry is obviously cut from my life. Can't have toxic people like that around. But my GF is another problem. I'm seriously head over heels in love with her and don't want to lose her. On the other hand, my heart is torn and I have too much self-respect to continue dating her. She completely thrashed my trust into the ground, and what's worse is humiliated me by going after one of my friends that I let stay with me. I feel like I've ducked myself in a lot of ways, and that I should have seen this coming, but I was naive. Anyways, we both have to work tomorrow, but I'm seriously at a loss for words. GF and I have only spoken a bit. I mean, it is late at night, it's about 4:15 a.m. while I type this. I've gotten zero sleep tonight, even after driving around and bawling my eyes out in an empty parking lot. What she did tell me was that she didn't think I loved her anymore, that every time she'd try to talk to me about something serious I'd make jokes and laugh it off. I know this isn't easy to hear, and I admit to being immature, but damn, I thought we were stronger than this. I guess the lesson has been learned. Regardless, I'm at a loss for words. I feel like us breaking up is inevitable, and it makes things so complicated seeing as I just bought this house about 10 months ago, and we shared a dog. She's even driving a car that I gave her. I know splitting things up won't be easy, and to be honest I don't want her to go, but like I said, my brain is telling me this is what we need, yet my heart feels otherwise. TL, Dr. GF was having an affair with a visiting friend, hid secret visit and messages from me, I discovered via snooping, and now I'm faced with the harsh reality of our broken relationship. complicate things more is that I've already bought a house, it's in my name, but my intention was for us to live here together and settle. Now my whole plans are up in the air. My heart is broken. Story 2. Me 21M with my girlfriend 21F of 4 years, cheated on me, and now we're back together. My GF and I had been dating semi-long distance through college, and we were both in our 3rd year. We saw each other about every other weekend, and more frequently in the summers. We had become very close and serious about our relationship and long-term plans. We talked about marriage, children, careers, and everything in between. I didn't expect to fall in love the way I did. I actually didn't think I would seriously date people until later in life, but I'm extremely compatible with this girl. We planned for her to move in with me after she graduates, and we would start our lives together. So this situation started about 6 months ago. She became friends with this guy Adam, who was in her classes in university. They would hang out frequently, and while I might have been a little suspicious, I didn't think there was a real problem. One night I happened to look over her shoulder and see her delete messages from Adam. I asked her why she felt the need to do that. She said she didn't have a reason to delete messages from Adam, and that she probably did it to clear up space on her phone. I knew this was BLLS it, and it ruined my evening, and it was when I really started becoming suspicious. During this time, my girlfriend mentioned a few times that she wasn't completely happy. She said she didn't feel appreciated sometimes, and that I didn't recognize her achievements. I think she felt this way because I didn't communicate with words how I felt about her often enough. I also had a few small duck-ups, like not celebrating Valentine's Day. I did, however, feel very strongly for her, and I felt that I showed it. So they end up texting, Snapchatting, and hanging out way too much for my comfort. I ignore it mostly until I decided to snoop one day, and found evidence. They exchanged flirty messages, told each other that they loved each other, etc. I was incredibly pissed off. This all happened at her best friend's wedding. I was tempted to just leave, but I stuck it out. We talked after the wedding. I told her she had to choose between me and the other guy, and she went home and came back the next day saying that she couldn't make that choice and that I should care about her happiness. We somehow came to the conclusion that we would go on a break, even though I was thinking that I had no other choice other than breaking up with her. This was right before she was leaving with her classmates to go on a school function for a few days. So during this break she sits beside Adam on the bus, and they spend a lot of time together. I don't think they did anything physical, but I realized that I basically gave her a free pass to emotionally cheat on me. She comes back from the trip. I hadn't communicated with her most of this time. I intended on breaking up with her when we met. She apologized, and seemed very sincere. I decided to give her another chance. We spent the next 2 weeks together, and there didn't seem to be a problem. Then I noticed that she was still communicating with Adam frequently. I brought it up, and she said that she needed to break up with me but didn't know how. I said, you get your stuff, get in your car, leave and stop talking to me. She did, and we went our separate ways. She told me that she just saw something different in her future. We didn't go completely no contact for a couple days. And once I decided that that was the best route, she continued to text me saying that she never felt these feelings before, and that she was sorry for hurting me. We met a couple weeks later to exchange stuff. She wanted to talk, and we talked, and she apologized, and cried, and said that she wanted me back. She said that she broke character, and that she had no way of explaining or justifying her emotions, but she was willing to do anything to gain my trust back. I felt like she had an epiphany, and that she was truly remorseful. So I told her we could try again. She called Adam and broke off her relationship with him, and she called her friends saying that she made a big mistake. It's 2 weeks later now, and I'm struggling with forgiveness. She told me her and Adam had time after we broke up. It felt like icing on the acid cake. I think about it constantly, and I'm still deeply hurt. She apologized, and I don't think she will ever do something like this again. I've always thought that I wouldn't have any tolerance for a cheater, but now I'm going against what I believed, and it doesn't settle well. She sees Adam during school functions, and she keeps any communication short and impersonal, which seems good to me. He has texted her several times, trying to remain friends and saying he wants to talk. She told him that anything he has to say won't change her decision. I really want her to tell him not to communicate with her at all, but I'm not the type to give orders and I don't want to cause resentment for doing that. She isn't going out of her way to contact him, but she's also not ignoring him completely like I would want. They are both in the same club, and I know that they would at least have to communicate professionally. But I honestly can't trust her around this guy, and I feel like no contact whatsoever would make gaining trust back a lot easier. Is it too late for us? Am I wrong for wanting things my way? I feel like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, because I really do want her as a partner. TL, doctor, girlfriend cheated. We want to work things out. Not sure if possible how to do it.